So let's have a look at the teams. Palace with the one change, Joel Drakes-Thomas coming in for Tyler White. Drakes-Thomas is an under-16 player, so he's playing up an age range. The goalkeeper is Marcus Hill, and the three defenders, Jasper Judd, Sean Samade and Jacob Fasida. Further forward, Dean Benamar, Ewan Danaher, Joel Drakes-Thomas, Kyrese Adams-Coleman, Benji Casey, Seb Williams and Jerome Osai. As for West Ham, they've got Finlay Hooper in goal. Their outfield players, Riley Ebo, Joe Scanlon, Jethro Medine, Ryan Ayabade is their captain, Aaron Camara, Riley Hagen, Chinaza Nwosu, Josh Landers, Alicia Sawunmi and Andre DK. Crystal Palace and West Ham head-to-head. Referee surveys the scene, looks at the watch and blows his whistle. Palace looking to bolster their position at the top of the tree in Premier League South for the under-18s. They've been playing some really good football. Crucial win over Fulham in another derby last time out. Of course, they beat Villa as well, the title rivals, so in sparkling form, and got every chance of recording another maximum here, you would have thought. High energy stuff from the outset. Sean Samade, who's caught the eye of late. Jasper Judd pinging it forward, so really tasty front three, isn't it, with Jerome Osai's been in the goals recently. Benji Casey, the number 9, and Seb Williams. Benji has got a goal tally to match his shirt number. 9 in 22 and 1 assist in all competitions. Second top scorer behind Jesse Derry, who is at 12 in 12, but has been with the under-21 since December. So who's going to show first in this one? West Ham trying to edge forward, but Samade is solid at the back, as per usual. Little spin from Andre DK, looking bright and breezy, sharp as a tack, as we welcome everyone listening worldwide. The perfect way to whet the appetite Premier League wise for the huge game coming up. 3 o'clock, live audio commentary on Palace TV, of course, as always, on Oliver Glasner's side, up against Ipswich before that 3-week break from action. Of course, going for a mid-season camp, and got a friendly to look forward to next week, which will be live on Palace TV. Just building some passing movements and some momentum. Team now led by Dave Cooper and Svetoslav Todorov. This is nudged forward, good angle, but out comes keeper Finlay Hooper, who you feel might be busy today, given the buoyancy of Palace of late. Williams, a crucial cog in the wheel, helped back by Riley Ebo. West Ham's results have been a bit of a mixed bag, but Palace come into this one in real form. Good, exciting night for the under-21s as well. Earlier in the week with a 2-2. Still looking to, almost certain to finish in the playoffs. Still work to do, want to get in the top 8, the 21s, to ensure a home tie in the last 16. Here come the under-18s with Dean Benamar driving forward, as he likes to do. Breakaway for West Ham. Played just behind Riley Ebo. In goes Jacob Fasida, and now Kyrese Adams-Coleman emerges with the ball. Sits on it and sprays a simple pass. You can see that surface water after the sprinklers gave the pitch a good covering just before kick-off. Now Palace on the charge now. Good run by Drakes-Thomas. In comes the cross, offside though. Flag was raised. Whistle blown. Good to hear the animated, enthusiastic advice and coaching tips coming from the sidelines. Jack Woodward talking you through the action. Pleasure and a privilege to be involved with the coverage as always. Mentioned a big weekend for the first team. Building great momentum, charging up the table. Took a while to get going this season, but so much to look forward to with that massive FA Cup quarter-final at Fulham after the international break, and Huge weekend for the Palace women's team in the FA Women's Cup quarter-finals at Chelsea. Nothing to lose there, just go and try and put a performance before the huge 6-pointer in the league against Aston Villa in a couple of weeks. So it's all happening at youth level, the women's team and the first team at CPFC. It's West Ham edging forward in the 5th minute here. Who's going to have the first serious chance on goal, I wonder? Aaron Camara, the Hammers number 6, with Jethro Medina available. Just assesses, ponders his next move. He tries the chip, and it's a good bit of distribution there. Over goes Drakes Thomas. The one change to the lineup. And be aware, Dino, was the advice for Palace, and it just trickles over the edge of the pitch, and Marcus Hill can take this goal kick momentarily. Thursday 13th, by the way, 3 p.m. live coverage of the game against Hamaka Maratene. I think we'll just call them HamCam, which is their abbreviation. Mid-season friendly coming up on Palace TV. Under 18s live next Saturday at Chelsea. Another big London derby, 11 a.m. Here now come West Ham with Ebo striding purposefully. Over goes Palace's number 6, Jacob Fasida, another under-16 player who's made the step up. So impressed with the way they go up the age ranges, these players. It's a seamless transition, playing similar systems right throughout the club. And it's been so wonderful to see the likes of Agbanone and Kapora and Devaney make those steps up in the past couple of seasons to first team level. 6th minute, first corner for West Ham. Right wing, left boot, swung over, misses just about everyone. Now it's with DK keeping it alive for the visitors. Oh, a little bit of an unfortunate ricochet, and he was very grateful to see that one come through into his arms. There was Marcus Hill. It was pinging about like the pinball machine. Osai likes to make those peeling runs to the right. In close attendance, he's got Drakes Thomas, and now Ewan Danaher takes up the play, pings the pass, but interception from Ebo. Being played at a good tempo this game so far. There are no easy matches, such is the nature. If you look at the league table, obviously Palace have been doing really well to get their games played on time. There are mitigating factors for some, like Youth Cup, and which always takes priority, and European competitions, the Youth League, some of the academies have been involved in, and that's why some games have to be called off as well because of the weather. But Palace well ahead. Have only got the 4 games left after this. They'll be looking to win all of them. Might need to win the league, with a lot of other teams playing catch-up. That's why it was such a big win over Fulham, to keep them at arm's length with the games in hand. Villa as well. Chelsea are up there. Here now come Crystal Palace with Williams trying to guide it for Osai, unsuccessfully. Man on is the cry for Dean Benamar. So good on the ball. He's a classy player, Benamar, isn't he? England under 17. He scored in his first start for England's under 17s. Here now come Palace. Could this be the first opportunity, with Drakes Thomas carrying it, ball in, and it's headed well wide of the target. But that's menacing from the hosts. Benji Casey stretching and straining the neck muscles, but he couldn't guide it inside the post. It was a good run down the right and manufacturing a presentable opening, and that will give them heart going into the rest of this under 18 Premier League fixture. Casey always seems to be in the right place. Scored in the last win, as did Osai, but they went goal crazy at West Ham with 5. Chuck Sokoli, who's on the bench today, scored from 50 yards out. Here now comes Osai. Can't guide it for Casey. There isn't a great position there. Osai hoping to turn provider right of centre. If he got the weight right on that one, it would have been 1-0 for Crystal Palace. But Casey getting into some good areas. He just headed one high and wide. This time he wasn't able to get to the cross. He was hoping to gobble up the opportunity, but they're starting to sculpt promising situations here at Crystal Palace, who've look the more dangerous outfit so far. Ball forward now for Casey, controls. Was he fouled? Yes, as the referee, by Aaron Camera. A flashpoint involving him, and he has given away a free kick. And do that at your peril against a team of this quality. Casey almost inevitably has been involved in the most significant moments of the game so far. Time for Seb Williams to wave his magic wand. He's definitely in shooting range here. I think he's going to go for goal, isn't he? Although some of his teammates might hope for a floated cross. Samade's gone forward from the back. Williams goes for goal, and he hits it low with curl. Good save. Low to his left by Finley Hooper. That's top quality goalkeeping. Agile, watchful. Went round the wall. He almost passed it towards the corner there. Generated really good pace and power on the ball, did Seb Williams. But it's a competent piece of goalkeeping there from Finley Hooper between the posts. It was a 4-player wall. He easily bypassed that, did Williams. Looking for his 6th goal of the season in all comps. Scored 5 in 20 plus 2 assists, 3rd top scorer. Now it's West Ham up the other end. Really good game this. Landers trying to play it in for Andre Dike, but away by Palace, who've had a couple of glimpses for Casey, and also that set-piece effort from Williams. If you joined us late, it's Palace who are looking the more likely scorers, but it remains 0-0 on Palace TV. Feast of football for you today. Live pictures from this one, live audio from the game against the Tractor Boys as Palace look to chalk up 3 more points in really good form in the top flight. Just felt winning that stateside cup, it was going to set up a good season. Didn't get perhaps the results they deserved in the early part of the campaign, but kept plugging away, and now the rewards are coming, and so good to have an FA Cup quarter-final to look forward to as well. It's going to be a cracking occasion at Craven Cottage, Selhurst Park this afternoon for the Premier League against the strugglers, but no gimmies in the top flight, and there are no gimmies for the under-18s, although Palace will fancy their chances of winning this one. They'd like the early goal. They've shown that they're capable of opening up this West Ham defence. Good strength, that by Osai, and then he plays it forward. He was impeded like that from Osai. We've seen his finishing ability. He's been a super sub and a super starter in last month or so, but also showed strength there to win the ball for his team. Williams, Drakes Thomas, good run on the overlap by Judd, gets the cross in, lovely flowing football that by Crystal Palace. Williams couldn't quite get on the end of it, header back into the mix for Casey! Oh, that's spectacular! A wonderful goal from Benji Casey. He's into double figures for the season for the Palace under-18s, and that was magical. A really good attack. No signs of it fizzling out. Great run by Jasper Judd down the right. Williams got the shot in. It was partially cleared up into the air, kept alive by Adams Coleman, and Casey did the rest. Chest control, poise, power, panache. It's brilliant from Benji. He's a real prospect. The future's bright, I think, for Crystal Palace. They're 1-0 up on West Ham in this under-18 derby, and that was a delight to witness. Casey just comes alive in that final third. He's already had a couple of glimpses of goal, and this time he scores convincingly, emphatically. That is a real moment of quality from Crystal Palace's number 9. Take a bow, Benji Casey. Palace 1, West Ham 0. And so many contributed to that, didn't they? Judd released down the right after a good bit of fluency by the team. His cross went up into the air. Presence of mind from Kyrese Adams-Coleman, who gets the assist with a header. But Casey still had a lot to do, and he's just brought it down almost all in one motion. and you just knew he was going to bury that. Absolutely no chance for Finley Hooper in the goal, and well, they might applaud from the sidelines. That's brilliant stuff from Benji Casey. Don't want to put too much pressure on his young shoulders, but if you do that, then you've definitely got a bright future, I think. And yeah, he's a real talent. The starlets sparkling in the sunshine of the capital at Training HQ. Still a long way to go in the game. Ball through the middle, and he's in. Onside, offside. Hoping to make it two. Trickery, gets the shot away low. Casey was trying to get to the back post. Might have been a second, and they're opening up West Ham at will here. They're just too hot to handle. Casey and offside. It was a long ball this time. He got back well. In fairness, did Camera, just to sow the seeds of doubt. Stumbled, offside, a bit wider than he would have liked, and he's pulled it wide of the target. But this has been mesmerising, terrific display from Palace so far on Palace TV Plus. They're 1-0 up. They could have had 3 or 4, in fairness. We've had the super technique and composure from Casey with the goal, but we've also had offside there racing through the middle, inside left channel, pulling the shot wide. Seb Williams had a good free kick at 0-0, and also a couple of crosses towards Casey. So they've actually had 4 or 5 chances of varying degrees of clarity, if you like. West Ham haven't really shown any threat. They'll just be hoping the visitors to hang in there, stay in the game. But with Palace in this mood, it's going to be tough for them. As Benamar is checked, scored straight from a corner for England under-17s against the Netherlands. He's going to take this free kick back for Cedar. Drake's Thomas has looked good so far as well, hasn't he, down the right. This is played by Judd towards offside, spins through. Drake's Thomas, who was with the England under-16s in their UEFA development tournament against France and Denmark. So good to see the Palace players getting the recognition at international level. Could go as many as 4 points clear depending on other results today. But yes, mathematically, if the other teams behind them are going to win all they get, which they're not going to, they're going to take points of each other. I would say, having played all the games extra, Palace might need to win all of them. But I mean, are you going to argue against that? There's no way you can. The way Palace are playing, they're expressing themselves. They're playing with freedom, with certainty, with belief. If they can win all the remaining matches, they might have a chance in a very competitive division. And they're the form team at the moment, and also they're beating teams in and around them, as well as the teams like West Ham in the lower regions. Adams Coleman. Next for the under-21s at Man City as well. Looking forward to that in a couple of weeks. So they're right in there. So really good for the under-18s and 21s to be going so well in the league. 21s having won the Premier League International Cup last season, might have a chance in the playoffs this year. And 18s going well. Here now is Benamar losing his footing. Casey the goal scorer. And here's Danaher. Now Drake's Thomas with the cross. Too close to the keeper this time, but there's a golfing clash between these two at the moment. Palace will stay humble. They know they've got to show that desire and industry as well as the attacking capabilities they have right throughout the pitch as it's knocked down that side. For West Ham, they might be in here, but out comes Marcus Hill, being applauded by his teammates from the sidelines. Good covering there by Marcus, with Josh Landers hoping to be in for West Ham. They haven't really fashioned an opening of their own. It's been all Palace so far. 1-0 up. Benji Casey with the goal and fully meriting their advantage. Been a really enjoyable watch, this one so far. Now, better from West Ham, and it might come for them here with DK. Tries to play the pass, unselfish, didn't really work though. Here come Palace on the break. This is where they could be so menacing. Williams plays the pass. Osai, wide right. Casey's in the middle. Osai will play it back for Joel Drakes-Thomas, pulling the strings down that side.
Good angle again. Keep it moving though. Good. Keep it moving though.
Keep it moving. The calls. Danaher and Drakes-Thomas. Seen a lot of touches in this first 20 minutes. Drakes-Thomas uses his pace. He's rapid and he's got ability to cross as well. In went Casey on the follow-up. Benamar attempting to get on the end of that. That was sublime from Drakes-Thomas. Danger coming from all areas here. Palace strutting their stuff and enjoying this game in the sunshine. Good work again by Adams-Coleman. Barged off the ball. Sawumni again. Good challenge. That was impeccably timed by Danaher. And, well, you admire goals like the one scored by Casey and some of the cohesive, fluent attacking play, but also good defending is to be appreciated. And that was a classic tackle. The perfect, robust, well-timed challenge from Ewan Danaher there. Any defender, any appreciator of football would have enjoyed that from him. Make sure you go to the Palace Academy X page and social media, CPFC as well, for the best coverage of Palace's academy. Under 18s, under 21s live. Focus on the women's team as well. And of course the senior men's side, who are just fine-tuning their preparations for the big game against Ipswich this afternoon. What better way to get in the mood for it than by watching a really good under-18 side, at the moment putting West Ham to the sword. It's a 1-0 lead, it might be 2 or 3. As we edge towards the midway point of what's been an enthralling first half and a very, very high quality first half so far from the home team. Right from the outset, they've pushed West Ham back, they've been posing the questions, and a really well taken goal by Benji Casey separates the sides. It was quite the deadlock breaker, it really was. Sawunmi and Oyabade, who's the captain of West Ham's youngsters. Quarter of the way through the contest. They'll be very aware of how heavily they lost her in the season to these opponents, West Ham. Riley Hargan, at least enjoying some possession and territory here, of the side who trailed to Benji Casey's goal. Camera ponders his next move and then rolls it for Hargan. Being closed down well, they've worked hard off the ball. Good discipline, shape, well drilled and organised, this Palace side, thoroughly meriting their current advantage, although it's only a slender lead. They're searching for the buffer of a second. Casey, he's slippery, he's strong as well. He's got all the attributes to have a good career in the game. And he's won his team a corner. Up against two of them there, but neither Ebo or Medine could dispossess Casey, who's just been buzzing around. And it'll be Seb Williams to walk over to take this corner kick. Chance for the likes of Sean Samade to get forward from the back, perhaps Judd and Fasida as well. The flag just fluttering in the late morning breeze at Training HQ. Good to see the lower age range playing in the background as well. It's quite the picture, isn't it? Lovely sunshine, excellent playing conditions, played short to the near post, it comes out, just snatched at it a little bit there, did Benamar, and then on the follow-up, Jerome Osai couldn't guide his volley inside the post, but it was a good one perhaps they've worked on during the week. Nice routine that, low to the near post. Benamar and Osai both with half chances there, but no further damage done to the West Ham defence. Hill came out and made an important clearance, but apart from that, hasn't had much to do, the Palace keeper. And the outfield players will be saying, well, long may that continue, but that's good work by DK. Free kick, a little bit better from West Ham. Williams tries to win it back for his team. Medine, Camera being encouraged to bring the ball forward, but closed down well, hassling and harrying by Casey. They've matched appetite with attacking threat. 26th minute on Palace TV. The CPFC under-18s 1-0 up on West Ham. Benji Casey with another goal for his collection, making it 10 for the season in all comps for this under-18 team. Here now is Riley Evo, still going for Sawunmi and Nwosu. Camera enjoying a good spell of passing, but not really doing anything with it due to the diligence and excellence of Palace off the ball as well as on it. Fasida and Samade linking up. Well, in the heart of Palace's rear guard so far. They look good, don't they, those two together, with Judd on the right side, well oiled, on the right wavelength, and they just give a nice backbone to the team, and they allow the rest of the forward players to go on and express themselves. As played back there by Samade for Hill. Second balls. In goes Osai. Judd, who played his part in the goal actually with a really good run forward. Cross was cleared, broke for Adams Coleman, who headed it towards Casey, who did the rest with a real flourish, it has to be said. Ebo, in goes Benamar for Palace, and now Chinaza Nwosu and DK. Casey will chase it down, so too will Danaher. 28th minute. Palace 1-0 to the good, but won't settle for that. They'll keep pressing, they'll keep probing, they'll keep surging for more goals. They'd love to add to their advantage before the break. Drakes Thomas scampering back, clattered away by Hill as the nice refreshing breeze. Beautiful day in early March, and Palace really building up ahead of steam and hitting some form. I think we're just having a pause in play here.
What are we doing, Lino?
Seems to be a bit of uncertainty.
Right, danger of telling us.
So the players coming off the field, not quite sure what the reason is for that. They're taking on the floor. Maybe there was an agreement to have a stoppage a third of the way through the contest, but we'll try and get that confirmed as to the reason. But it's an opportunity for us to reflect on what we've seen. And from a Palace point of view, it's been very pleasing indeed. A really good goal from Benji Casey to put Palace ahead, and they've had several other opportunities as well. So you can just sense the buzz and the contentment amongst the Palace camp. Yeah, I mean, you've got to remember as well the number of games they've played. Sometimes I think because of the way the game's moved on and the quality, the thoroughness of these academy setups, watching and covering, commentating on the games, you forget how young they are. They're still developing their games. Some of them haven't finished growing yet, of course, and the welfare of the players is paramount. You come towards the final furlong of a season. It's you know, some of them have made the step up for the 21s as well. You've got to make sure they pace themselves through the game. So might have been the agreement to have the breaks.
Let's go. What we need to do.
I'm sure Toby will get to the bottom of it, as he always does, our youth correspondent, Palace TV. So we've passed the half-hour mark. We've had the break, and off we go again. Back goes Scanlon, brilliant scuttling towards him by Drake's Thomas. I think that typifies the spirit, the enthusiasm and the willingness of these Palace players. Referee blows his whistle and we have a free kick. I think maybe the confusion might have been, I'm not sure all of everyone here knew that we were going to have that stoppage. So it's just communication, isn't it, really? It's not blisteringly hot. It's very sunny and it's been a long season. It's going to be a compelling one, isn't it? The last few games, there's going to be a lot riding on the matches. It's all right having matches in hand for the other teams, but the pressure is on to win them when you've got a side like Palace who are getting the games played on time and they're picking up the points. In a really good campaign. Here now come West Ham, looking to level, low ball in, great save, really good stuff. It was knocked in by Ebo for Alicia Sawunmi, but Marcus Hill, who hasn't had much to do, it's the mark of a good keeper. He's maintained his concentration, he's witnessed the outfield players flourishing in front of him, but when required, he was in a really good position there, used his body to good effect. There was nowhere to go for the West Ham forward. Here they come again, they've got another opportunity, and this time it's against the bar. Two great chances in the space of a few seconds for West Ham United to equalise. First of all, the save was made, and this time Andre Dike played in the West Ham number 11, brought it in his stride, and he's hit the bar. Here's the first chance, slotted by Ebo for Sawunmi as Hill made the save. Then on the follow-up, what a run this was by Andre Dike, found a way past the keeper, but the frame of the goal comes to Crystal Palace's rescue. And that's how quickly a game like this can change. Palace were dominating before the water break. West Ham just galvanised. That little stoppage came at a good time for them. And they've had two golden opportunities. Sculpting one for the number 10, Sawunmi, and then the number 11, Andre Dike, firing against the carpentry, which is still shaking. Such was the ferocity of that hit. He beat But I think Hill actually takes some credit for that, because he raced towards him. He had to just snatch it in a little bit, and that's why he lifted his head, lifted the ball fractionally higher than he wanted. And it's crashed against the bar. Really good game of youth football, this. Foul, and a free kick for Palace, and very important they didn't concede there with that flurry of activity on their goal. Having bossed the match, they would have been really disappointed only to have a 1-1 to show from what they've done, but as it is, still on course for the clean sheet. Shutout achieved with good work from the keeper and a little bit of fortune as well. And I think if Palace go on to win this game, we might look at that sequence. Staying in front there was vital. Here's Williams pushing it along the turf. It's a slick, well-prepared playing surface. Hats off to all the ground staff for getting it ready and giving them a good setting to show their skills, these youngsters. Palace 1 to the good. Benji Casey with the goal. We'll bring you the highlights, the tale of the tape, the incidents that excited from the first half at half-time. If you've joined us a little bit late here, I know it's an early start and it's another big day of football. Into the final 10 of the first 45. Over goes Drake's Thomas, but buoyed by the couple of near things they've had, what might have been for West Ham. So Wunmi denied by Hill, and then DK thwarted by the crossbar. Ball floated forward. Still, overall, you'd still say Palace have been the better team, despite those moments of concern. They've been dominating proceedings before that double chance. It's nicely poised, this game. West Ham having to chase it. Palace know second goal would really give them a nice platform for the remainder. Header down by Hagen for DK, who still can't believe he hasn't scored from that possibility he had. Here's the cross from Ebo, who's getting forward well down the right. Now it's Palace on the charge with Drake's Thomas. Poise on the ball. Seems to have that extra moment. Isn't rushed into anything. Forward by Samade and Judd. Good peeling run by Casey. Benema's in the middle. Casey hangs on to it for fellow forward Osai. And back into the Palace half. Osai for Cedar, who did well in a tricky looking spot. Judd. Drake's Thomas. Looking to bewitch, bamboozle and mesmerise in equal measure. Oh, lovely stuff again by Drake's Thomas. Gets to the byline, cut back, will it break for a Palace shirt? No. Williams sowing the seeds of doubt, trying to make a nuisance of himself, but more sumptuous work by Joel Drake's Thomas, and you can see why he's had the England recognition at under 16 level. Talented teenager. Drake's Thomas for Judd to chase down. Sun shining nice and bright. Good to see the friends and family of some of the other young players watching the action, backing their loved ones on another busy day for the development of these young Crystal Palace players. Forward by West Ham and Hagen. DK has come the closest to scoring for the visitors. Hagen given away. Here come Palace now with Osai. Has he got another goal up his sleeve? Danaher, diagonal, good ball as well for Benamar. Benamar being pursued by Ebo. Benamar for Cedar. Adams Coleman hoisting towards a teammate. Excellent from DK. He's got bags of ability, hasn't he? Hagen, good counter-attack this. Landers for West Ham. Landers into the box. DK for Sawunmi. It's an effort on target. It lacked conviction. Straight into the arms of Marcus Hill, who's had a good game so far. Palace can be content with their shift up to date. Putting in the graft, perspiration and inspiration. And there was the jubilation for Benji Casey with the only goal so far. Oh, good work here by Adams Coleman for Williams. Adams Coleman, master of ceremonies, spraying the passes. Benamar now, good tussle that. Benamar and Ebo played it in, and that was a good run actually by Jasper Judd. Opportunistic, making the burst, trying to ghost in unnoticed. The ball whipped in and he's volleyed it well wide, but it's another good attack, and applause for the idea and effort of Jasper Judd there from the sidelines into the last 5 minutes of what's been a compelling, absorbing first half of youth football on Palace TV.
Not too high. Yes, Friday. Come on, next one in.
Now it's with Hagen. Benamar. Casey. Loses out to Hagen. Hustle and bustle from Adams Coleman. Set piece. 1-0, but it's been an entertaining 1-0 so far with chances at both ends. Good passing sequences. Hagen and Ebo. DK. Ebo gets onto the end of this one, pulls it across, and that is the equaliser. Joshua Landers in the right place at the right time for the visitors. Good attack down the right. Riley Ebo has been a threat, racing upfield. They'd already forced a good save out of Hill and hit the bar. And Landers makes no mistake with the finish. He just cushioned it, got the right connection in front of the defender. And Palace have conceded towards the end of this first half. They've been the better team, but West Ham have really roared back into this game. DK has been central to it. He released Riley Ebo, who hit it first time, and that's a very clever finish by Josh Landers. So the two number 9s have scored. Casey for Palace, but Landers has his say for West Ham in this London derby. It's locked at 1 apiece. And I think there are more goals in this one, by the way. Both sides have come with a real belief in their own abilities. And here come Palace hoping to retake the lead. They were superior in all departments for the first half an hour, but West Ham have made the most of their good spell in the game. You got to score in a purple patch. Looked like that chances had gone begging, but they've kept exploring every avenue. They've had most of their joy down the right side. Is there a final bit of drama at the end of an action-packed opening 45? Into the last couple of minutes of it, it was Palace who raced into the lead through Benji Casey. A beautiful piece of finishing, chest control, and then he hooked in an unstoppable shot after the header by Kyrese Adams-Coleman, following a good run down the right by Jasper Judd. Other chances for Palace, as we'll see at half-time in the highlights. Seb Williams with a free kick, which was saved well by the keeper. Casey had a couple of glimmers with a header wide. Almost got on the end of a cross as well. Osai dragged one wide of the target, but West Ham with Sawunmi denied by Hill. DK hitting the bar, and then the goal from Landers from Ebo's cross really showed their quality as the half went on. So it's going to be all to play for after a break. It's going to be, well, if the second half's anything like as good as the first one, we're in for a treat. But a much tighter affair than the game earlier in the season when Palace ticked all the boxes. They were streets ahead of their opponents in all departments with a scintillating, phenomenal, astounding 5-goal display. Maybe Okoli could come on and score another one from range in this game off the bench. Good options on the bench with Tyler White and Ryden Brownlee. Really looking forward to maybe seeing him for the first time. The new signing joined yesterday, played for the Brisbane Roar first team in Australia. So it's great to have him involved in the squad. Into stoppage time then at the end of this first half. It's with Palace now over halfway. Drake Thomas has had a really good first half. Could he conjure something here? Followed by Nwosu. Won't have much stoppage time. It's been a good flowing half of football. Judd has got forward on occasion. Offside against Osai. Maybe the final meaningful action before they go in for a well-earned rest. Finlay Hooper beaten once, grasping at thin air as a shot rocketed past him from Casey, but he's seen his outfield teammates really grow into the contest and haul themselves to parity. Good distance generated on that one. Landers, the West Ham goal scorer, but Judd mops up. First time this time by Hill. Adams Coleman can't quite get onto that one. Medine for Hooper, who had a lot on his plate in the early part of the game. Brings it well out of his penalty area. Referee's taken a look at the watch. Hooper pumps it clear. There is the half-time whistle. Excellent game of football. It's Palace who took the lead through Benji Casey, but West Ham's number 9, Josh Landers, equalised. Both teams had good chances as well as the goals. It's all to play for in the second 45. Palace under-18s won, West Ham United won. Second half to come. We are all set then. The young players ready, willing and able to get us back underway. The second half of this under-18 Premier League fixture between Crystal Palace and West Ham United on Palace TV, and it is well poised. 1-1 after Benji Casey's brilliant opener in the first half was cancelled out by a very adroit finish from Josh Landers of West Ham. Both teams remaining unchanged, so neither boss shuffling the pack as yet. Palace in their usual colours with Marcus Hill, who made a good save with his legs in the first half to foil Elisha Sawunmi. He's in goal as Palace builds straight away. Good run being made here by Jacob Fasida. Poppy up on the left wing. Osai back to goal. Turns, shoots, takes a deflection and wide. Great start to the half from Palace. Just what Dave Cooper and Svetoslav Todorov would have wanted, showing urgency. They've absorbed the information. They've listened to the coaching tips and they've carried that out onto the pitch. Good attack there for Cedar, the defender getting forward. Broke for Osai, who pivoted, spun, got the shot away, deflected for a corner. Both arms up, right wing, left boot, in it comes. Looks a good one as well. Headed away, and now a possible counter for their goal scorer, Landers. And Sawunmi denied by Danaher, and now space for Williams. Not sure if it was a cross or a shot there, maybe caught in two minds as it zooms over the bar from Palace, but yeah, really bright opening from them since coming back out onto the pitch. The Palace outfield players, by the way, the defenders, Sean Samade, Jacob Facida and Jasper Judd. Further forward, here comes Dean Banamar for Williams, and now Adams Coleman. Banamar again gets up to the byline, wraps his foot round the ball. The rest of the lineup: Joel Drakes Thomas, Kyrese Adams Coleman, Benji Casey, the goal scorer, Seb Williams and Jerome Osai. The bench for Palace: Tyler White, Harry Whitworth, Dante Martin, Ryland Brownlee, the new signing, and Chucks Okoli. With Jasper Judd. Oh, great layoff that by Williams. That's delightful stuff from him. It falls now for Osai. Williams gets the shot in, and it's there! A second goal for Benji Casey in the 3rd minute of the second half. They've been bright and breezy right since the restart. They've really pushed West Ham back. And the boy with the golden touch, quite the talented teenager to torment West Ham. Really good build-up. The low ball fizzed across the face of goal, and Casey showing a striker's instinct. It was a scintillating effort in the opening period. This time at the back post, he was alert, he was ready, he was able to slot in from close range, and Palace retake the lead against the Hammers. Casey's on a hat-trick now. He's been in terrific goal-scoring form this season. It's 11 for the campaign now. They just keep coming, and they'll look to retain the lead this time and push on for more goals. It's Palace 2, West Ham 1. Benji Casey with his second, different type of goal, but more good build-up. Williams taking it by the scruff of the neck, really seized the ball by the horns, if you like, and you know, the goal had been coming ever since they came back out. They've been at it. They've been really focused, showing that understanding, and there's been no way for West Ham to stem the tide, really. Very good. Whatever was said at the break has worked a treat, and Casey just knows where to be. He's got that priceless ability. Yes, he's a young player. He's been coached well, clearly, but sometimes that's just an instinct. It just comes naturally. You can't train it, and Casey has got that eye for goal, his goals, and that might just put Palace back on top spot, because momentarily they were knocked off it because Southampton 3-1 up on Brighton were going back above Palace in the table, but Casey puts them back at the summit for now. There's going to be lots of twists and turns. It's going to be musical chairs a little bit between now and the end of the season. Who's going to be at the top when the music stops? That's the question. Still 12 points to play for after this one. Palace will look to get all of them on the board and see what happens in the other matches. Massive game at Chelsea to come, live on Palace TV next Saturday. That'll be a really good affair. Here now is the shot, and this time they're going to push, I think, even more so than before the break for the extra goal, just to get that cushion, get that insurance, because they might need it. West Ham had a very good spell of the game and did get themselves level with a really well taken goal. Had two good chances, one saved, one hit the bar before that, and here is their goal scorer, Landers. And now it's DK, who battered one against the bar, but they've shown character and resilience, bouncing back once. There, staff will believe they've got plenty of time. He loses out this time to Zebo, to Benamar. Was there a little tangle there? Nothing untoward, says the ref, but Williams had the presence of mind to keep going, and he knocks it towards Benamar, who started the move and kept the run going. It's been an effervescence and ebullience and energy about Palace right throughout this game, but particularly so in the first, 6.5 minutes of the second period, during which they've scored with Casey's second of the game. He'd love the match ball, love to get that third. Benji, the brace bagger. And we're going to be getting another drinks break, by the way, at some point. Might be 15 minutes in, might be half an hour in. Probably be either then or somewhere between that, but it's just to make sure that players can cope the best in the wonderful sunshine. Not quite in the final stretch of the season, are we? But you can certainly see the finishing line, and it's fabulous for Palace to be right in the title race. Forward by Medina. In goes Adams-Coleman. And now Williams will try his luck. Good save, and it nearly spanned for Drakes-Thomas. Williams foiled by the keeper, Hooper. The chances created regularly throughout this game by the home team. Benamar with a header over the bar. But yeah, they do carry a goal threat. Yes, Casey is the chief goal getter, but Williams has been posing the questions, similar to his effort really from the free kick in the first half. That this time from open play, attempting to steer it to the corner, but good save low to his left by Hooper. I think if Palace got a third, that really would be game over. Keeping their intensity here. Williams slots the pass, control by Drakes-Thomas. Trickery. Is there something at the end of it? Joel Drakes-Thomas, the England youngster, gets the crossover away by Riley Evo. All hands to the pump for West Ham. Landers and DK, their best chance is really to get something on the counter. DK tackled well by Ewan Danaher. Emerged with it, then Adams-Coleman. Williams having more of an influence as the game goes on. Williams, lovely little turn. Was he fouled? No, a fair challenge, says the referee. And now Samade is a tower of strength, a colossal influence in the heart of defence. Calmness personified. 2-1 Palace. Pegged back to 1-1, but Casey with both goals. Here's Osai now. Casey in front of him. He's going to play it to Benamar. Good outlet. Benamar checked back by Riley Ebo. Good tussle between those two. Benamar tried to wrap his foot around the ball, but couldn't hook it towards a teammate, and it flies harmlessly behind from West Ham United's perspective. But it's Casey who's conjured the brilliance, the goal scorer.
Next one in. Good. Next one in.
Fired out of play. Just over 10 minutes gone of the second period. We expected an entertaining, enterprising contest. That's exactly what we're getting. Casey, the headline maker with the goals, but they've all contributed. Good collective display from both teams.
Go on then, John. Go on then, John. We can do it. Come on, Josh. Come on, Josh. Come on.
Benji at the double, but still work to do. And here now is Landers. He wants a second goal of his own. But good defending by Jasper Judd. Right place, right time. Slides it for Osai, dropping deep in an attempt to instigate. 57th minute on Palace TV. Jack Woodward talking you through the action. Palace 2-1 up on West Ham. Benji Casey with both Palace goals, as Jasper Judd is stopped in his prime, sprinting at pace with optimism, and there is going to be a booking there. And the yellow card issued by the ref for preventing Jasper Judd carrying the ball forward. So a free kick for the home side. Remember, live audio commentary to come of the huge Premier League game at Selhurst Park between Palace and Ipswich, looking for another maximum under Oliver Glasner. Angle by Facida for Williams, Facida. Williams carrying the ball well, and now Casey on a hat-trick, just forced out wide, but you could sense his eyes light up there. He was licking his lips, relishing the prospect of trying to get a shot away, or maybe squaring one for Jerome Osai. And with the abundance of ability on the bench, it's looking good this for Palace, but they'll know in the back of their minds that West Ham did come back into it before the break. So still all to play for, looking to stay at the top of the under-18 Premier League South tree. Dave Cooper there showing a good bit of footwork. You're very pleased with the lads, but the job isn't done yet. Benamar got into a bit of difficulty, and it's a free kick. Well, I mean, West Ham will be desperate for the drinks break, because in the first half, when they did have a pause, they had that hiatus, just seemed to enable them to get together and plan a comeback. But Palace will hope to maintain the intensity and the current balance of power in this game. Pendulum swung their way, then towards West Ham, but now it's back with Palace. They're in the box seat, sitting pretty on a 2-1 lead. Benji Casey with a brilliant bit of chest control in the first half, rifling the shot powerfully, unerringly into the net. In the second, he was the fox in the box. A finish at the back stick. Good work by Williams and co in the build-up. Now it's with Ewan Danaher. Seems to always have time on the ball. Mark of a good player, Danaher carrying it, sliding the pass. Good angle now for Drake Thomas to take up the play. Too close to the keeper though, trying to pick out Osai or KC, but it was Finlay Hooper who judged the trajectory of the ball well. Hour mark reached. Palace 2, West Ham 1.
Steady, Jerome, stay inside. Come on then. Creep.
Away by Hooper. What has the remaining third of this contest got to offer? We've seen 3 goals already. Plenty of other situations manufactured. Samade for Hill, hoping to guide it for either Benamar or Casey. We'll bring you the goals at the end of the game. If you've missed any of the action on Palace TV, all the highlights for you as well on the club channels. Sawunmi loses out to Kyrese Adams-Coleman. Short to his right is Drakes Thomas, who's returned from international duty and shown his sparkle. Williams, Drakes Thomas, Samade for Hill. Member on the Palace bench, Tyler White, Harry Whitworth, Dante Martin, Ryland Brownlee and Chuck Sokoli. Ryland Brownlee, 18-year-old, signing confirmed yesterday. It's come from the Australian Senior A-League, the top division in Australian football. We might see him later on, or they might be easing him into it. We'll have to wait and see. Here now is Judd losing out, and West Ham with DK holding on to the ball. Ebo was hoping for the pass, but he now gives it to Chinaza Nwosu, the West Ham United number 8. Of course, we talk about Palace's academy, success recently with the likes of Agbenone, Kapora, Devaney, one or two others getting recognition, and over the years, such a fantastic academy. As West Ham now come forward, the cross played in by Elisha Sawunmi, Riley Hagen meeting it, but he slices the shot, just skewed off the right boot there and went to safety. That was really good from West Ham. They have shown bursts of attacking quality in this game. Sawunmi, who almost scored in the first half, but to be denied by Marcus Hill, put the chance on a plate there for Hagen. And it is a substitution, and it is the introduction of Ryland Brownlee. Great to see him make his debut as a substitute here. Signed from Brisbane Roar in Australia, confirmed yesterday, and he's thrust into the action. The number 15 can play, according to Academy Director Gary Issop, anywhere along the front three. So he's definitely a player who can do something here. He is straight away, making his mark immediately, playing the pass for Casey, who slices it high and wide. Well, that's hopefully the sign of things to come from Ryland Brownlee, immediately making an impact, showing urgency and hunger to get involved with his new club, knocking it forward for fellow forward Casey, who couldn't quite pick out the top corner for his hat-trick. That would have been some start to get an assist in the first minute of his involvement there for Brownlee, but definitely encouraging portents from him. Made his Brisbane Roar debut in October 2023. Made 11 appearances in the 23-24 season in the A-League for Brisbane Roar. Got a goal against Melbourne City, an assist against Adelaide United. Says it's an amazing opportunity, incredible facilities, and he'll hope to contribute to a win here and help Palace in the upper echelons of the division between now and the end of the season. Here's Williams finding the angle, but good sweeping by Marcus Hill, who got there in front of Joel Drakes Thomas. The flag is raised. Be really interesting to see West Ham's approach as well. They've not been able to play much in the Palace final third in the second half, but they did have that little moment for Sawunmi getting the low cross-come shot in, and Hagen wasn't able to guide it between the posts, so that will give them some belief that they can get a second equaliser here. There's no question of them locking up shot, though. They'll go for a third goal. They're such a swashbuckling, buccaneering team. Positivity oozes through the veins. But good to see Brownlee on for his first appearance in the red and blue of Crystal Palace. He's on for Jerome Osai. I thought had a good game, might have scored. First half he pulled the shot wide. He's been making life difficult for the West Ham rearguard. He's been replaced by Brownlee. In comes the cross. Good work by Jurdo, and it had to be. That was awkward. Bouncing just in front of him. He knew that the goal scorer Landers was behind him. Brownlee, he's rapid. We've got some Australian type weather as well, haven't we, here? With the sun beating down. I don't suppose he should get too used to this, but it's a culture shock. And of course, remember, he's a very young player coming to a different country, different continent, so all the welfare is in place as well to help him. He's got a great bunch of lads as well to work with, so I'm sure they're going to make him feel at home. His first day at school properly, this, isn't it? Here now is a chance for Palace to get a third goal. Good running by Adams Coleman, and the keeper comes out to palm it away. Casey was in the middle. Kyrese Adams Coleman coming forward with intent there. He had options. He had the sub Brownlee, he had Casey, the two-goal hero. He tried to score himself. It took a deflection, I think, of Medina. That made it an even more impressive save from Hooper, who's been the busier keeper in this game. Midway through the second half, Palace 2-1 up. They'll feel they perhaps should have had more than the two. Played short for Drakes Thomas. Back for Benamar. Lifts it high. Was there a handball there? Well, might have been a case for it. Might have been just ball to hand. I'm not sure he could have got out the way of it. Drakes Thomas carrying it in from the right, as he likes to do. Drakes Thomas, strong, goes down. And he's still on the ball. Brilliant from Drakes Thomas. Oh, Casey almost for three. That's brilliant defending by Riley Hagen in front of Casey. It was tremendous stuff from Joel Drakes Thomas. So honest as well. I mean, he went down. Might have been a suggestion of being impeded, but to his credit, he's got back on his feet and he's beaten the next player. Pulled it over, and I'm not sure how Hagen prevented Casey from scoring there, but he did. Will Benji get a better chance to get his hat-trick? Cracking game, this. Both arms up. Williams on dead ball duty. Oh, that's a swerving, curving, vicious centre with his right boot from the left wing, and somehow it seemed to evade everyone. Well, we've had thrills and spills aplenty, and more to come, I think, in the final quarter of the contest, as Majid Balogun, 16, gets ready to come on for West Ham United. The official just noting down his introduction. Just over 20 minutes left. Time's gone really quickly. Kicked off 11 AM as morning becomes afternoon. Now here come the home side with Adams Coleman, wreaker of havoc, maker of mischief. Very impressed with the way they've reacted to conceding the equaliser here. They've got themselves together. They've shown that camaraderie, togetherness, quality in the second half, and Palace are looking good for all the points again. Did so well to get to the top of the table. They want to stay there for as long as possible. Another chance for Seb Williams to show his creative skills. In it comes. Good technique again. Headed up high by Ryan Oyabade, the captain of West Ham United. Of course, so many top players have come through their academy in the recent decades. The likes of Rio Ferdinand, Joe Cole, Michael Carrick, Frank Lampard, to name but a few. Proud history of developing players, as do Crystal Palace. so important, both in history and in the modern game, to try and nurture your own. You just know when Palace face West Ham, you're going to get a really good game at this level. Very different affair to earlier in the campaign when Palace were head and shoulders ahead of West Ham. The 5-goal super show. It's Benji Casey with a stellar scoring moment so far. They thoroughly merit their lead, the Palace. It's not an insurmountable, unassailable one as yet. Throw in for Jasper Judd, who's got through some splendid work. Forward on the volley by Kyrese Adams-Coleman. With Jasper Judd making tracks down the right. Here's Brownlee, great cameo from him so far. Plays the pass now. Danaher with those dancing feet, just couldn't thread his way through. DK with him involved. There's still a chance for the visitors. They've got some really talented players of their own. Can't take anything for granted. It's the nature of youth football in this division. Just because you're playing a team who aren't in the higher reaches, it's still going to be a tough game. Remember when Palace turned it round against Leicester, they were looking really good, had been lower down. So it's always a stern examination, whoever you come up against on a weekly basis in Under-18 Premier League South. Here's Danaher, which makes Palace's achievement of getting to the top of the table even more eye-catching, I think. Palace TV, the place to be for top-class youth football. By the way, it was Joe Scanlon who came off, replaced by the player on the ball now, Majid Balogun. And here comes DK, but the whistle blow by the man in the middle has kept things flowing nicely. Not too many stoppages. Words of encouragement from the West Ham players. Whilst it's still a 1-goal deficit, Elisha Sawunmi and co are well aware they can still get a result here. Are Palace going to make it 3 straight wins? They've really been in good form generally. Took a while to get going. They had a few ups and downs at the start of the season in the league, but they've been really, you'd probably say, the best team in the division over either side of Christmas and also into this new year. Here's Danaher. Fired away as we approach the final quarter of an hour. Samade just has that authority, assertive player. Sawunmi for Balogun, but Jasper Judd, vigilant, well-timed, knocks it away, just pushing Palace back. It was just after this point, wasn't it, of the first half, that the Hammers had a good spell. Palace will be out to make sure that doesn't happen again. Good to see the other youngsters playing on the adjacent pitch here at Training HQ. Fantastic facility to help educate and develop these young players. Of course, feel-good factor around the club always given by the progress and fine form of the first team. Going really well in League and FA Cup of late. Oh, what's the keeper doing here? It's an error. Is it going to be punished? No, got away with it. Well, almost an embarrassing moment for Marcus Hill, but no damage done. Played back towards him, and he's knocked it straight against Landers, the goal scorer. In went DK on the follow-up. and he tried to almost guide it inside the post from a tight angle. He's messed it up. Massive relief for Marcus Hill, because that would have been a ground swallow me up moment for him. Good opportunism and positioning by Landers, but DK's made a hash of it. Heart in the mouth moment for Marcus Hill, because that would not have been, there's no good way to concede a goal, but that would have been dreadful. But he'll learn from it. It's a steep learning curve for these players, and crucially, there wasn't a goal, so he got away with it. Foul on Drakes Thomas, and they'll push on from that. And also it's something he needs just to get out of his mind now, that keepers, if you try and play it out from the back, you know, you see it at senior level, you can be punished, but cup's always half full rather than half empty. Let's focus on the excellent save he made in the first half to stop Sir Wumney from scoring. And overall, he's had a good day, and as things stand, he'll be on the winning team. More footballing theatre to come, though, I'm sure. Here comes Landers with sub on the overlap, Balogun. He's played it the other way for DK. Balogun, as Threatenson's coming on. As the wind picks up a little bit at a beautifully sunny Palace training ground. Ryland Brownlee being urged forward. He created a chance for Casey just after coming on, fresh off the bench. Replacements making their mark. Brownlee on his debut. It's a sort of day where you might put a shrimp on the barbie, as he has come from Australia. Hopefully this weather's a sign of things to come, as we march into spring, with a spring in the start from Palace's point of view. Now, Lewis Beckford, the number 14, is coming on for that. Trying to play those cards now. West Ham, they need a goal, otherwise they're heading for defeat. Palace set to do the double over West Ham this season in the league. Just got to take care of your business, haven't you, when there's a lot of teams involved in the shake-up. Of course, if one or two of the other sides do win all their games in hand, they will get to the top, but they're not going to be easily overhauled. Palace, you'd expect them to get their results. Of course, it's going to be a really good game against Chelsea next week, especially if they can go into it on the back of yet another win. Here's Adams Coleman for Cedar. Likes getting forward, doesn't he, for Cedar? Good to see. Benamar for Danaher. 80th minute. Nicely worked this by Palace. Drakes Thomas for Williams, who gets free into the penalty area. Cutback. Will it be bundled in? Brownlee was ready to pull the trigger. Just ran away from him. Now it's with Danaher chipping behind. Just rolls over the turf. And in fact, he's kept it in well. As Finley Hooper. Well, when Palace scored the second, they had the wind in their sails, the spring in the step. They were really playing with a swagger, a confidence, and it looked like they might get more goals. They haven't. West Ham's still in there. Double change about to be made by Palace. Tyler White, who started the last game, he's going to come on. So too is Dante Martin, with Brownlee already having entered the fray. Hill gathered that one, not taking any chances there. And the next time the ball's out of play, you'd expect those subs to be made. It was Riley Hagen who was replaced by Lewis Beckford for West Ham, and Hagen it was who had that chance in the second half. Played in well, but he didn't really have the belief, and he touched it wide. Joel Drakes-Thomas, one of the players coming off. It's been excellent. Pat on the back there from Dave Cooper. And, well, Benji isn't going to get his hat-trick, but I'm sure he'll be happy with 2. More goal-scoring prowess from him, and good coaching as well. I mean, I don't even know what he said, but I'm sure it's got to be complimentary, because 2 really well-taken goals. And he did have a couple of glimpses for his hat-trick, but well done to him, well done to Benji, well done to Joel, as Tyler and Dante come on to try and do some damage of their own. So we've got a new look strike force for Palace nil. Fresh legs to try and make things tricky for the West Ham defence. A 3rd goal would clinch another 3 points for sure. 2 might be enough. Now West Ham with Sawunmi on the charge, plays the pass. Landers wants another one, but good work by Marcus Hill, who was in the perfect spot really. Landers forced out wide, couldn't find a way past him. Routine save for Hill. Well, Landers has seen his opposing number 9 Casey score twice before going off. He wanted to do the same himself. Are they going to have another clear opening? Away by Hill. White can't get there, Williams can, bringing the ball down the flank. As we enter the final phase of this contest, the closing stages, as Palace look to close out what's been a good team display with a maximum return. Up goes Facida, and now Adams-Coleman. Hooper forward, and Nwosu. Oh, it's good running. Challenge comes in, it's enough. Like that from Ewan Danaher. Just didn't allow the momentum. And it was a fairly tame effort in the end. Route 1, and he might be in here. Brownlee, foiled by Finley Hooper. Camera. And now Landers through the centre, great defending, and it needed to be from Facida. And now it's with Balogun. Space is starting to open up. Nwosu. Just conducting that orchestra. Medine. Easily cut out that by Benamar. Frustration, exasperation from the sidelines, from the away technical area. Facida. And quite happy for that ball to deflect out of Ebo. More precious seconds tick away as we approach the final 5 minutes. Palace 2-1 to the good. Benji Casey with both goals. West Ham equalising through Josh Landers. Here's Ryland Brownlee. And Oyabade. Good header from Landers. Majid Balogun. Certainly good battle that between him and Jasper Judd. Balogun's going to take him on, sliding brilliantly. It's a wonderful tackle that by Judd. Well, it can be an art form, can't it? And that was just an object lesson. It was textbook from Judd to stop Majid Balogun. Benamar into the dying embers. Kyrese Adams-Coleman galloping forward.
Come on back, come on back.
And now Benamar, high, hanging, awkward, good control. This by the substitute, and then it's over the bar. Tyler White with an opening to make the point safe. Great work by Benamar. Dropping down, that was difficult to control. He made it look easy with his right, with his left. He just opened his body up, but couldn't find the corner as it flies over the bar. But another chance for Palace, as well as the 2 goals for Casey. Right throughout the game, they've looked like scoring. Well, you'd always like a more convincing win, but 3 points are 3 points. 2-1 would be absolutely fine. West Ham have been dogged, and with Lewis Beckford and Balogun, 2 of the subs combining. Could there be a final plot twist to this under-18 Premier League South story? Crystal Palace went into the game looking for a 3rd straight win. They got an early goal. Kyrese Adams-Coleman's header steered towards Benji Casey, who brought it down in one motion, chest control, and then an acrobatic volley past Finley Hooper. 1-0, they might have had more goals, but they were pegged back through a really well-created and taken goal by Josh Landers, the West Ham number 9. 1-1 at the break. West Ham hit the bar, forced a good save from Marcus Hill. Palace were the better team before the interval. Certainly the better team at the start of the second, with the referee blowing his whistle here and brandishing a yellow card. Not sure who that was to. But whatever was said at half-time worked a treat. They were brilliant right from the first stages of the second period. And Benji Casey, from close range, after a low cross, made it 2-1. Been opportunities for both sides since. But is it going to be Benji's goals that does it? Oh, ball forward now for the sub, Ryan Brownlee. That would just put the cherry on top of the icing on top of the cake if Debutant Brownlee could get a goal, but he just strayed as we approach the final minute of the 90. We'll get a little bit of stoppage time with the goal and all the subs. A couple of yellow cards as well. Now here's Andre DK. Just couldn't keep his shot down in the first half. Rattled one against the bar. They've been plucky. We're going to get 3 minutes of added time, we're hearing. So just under 4 minutes left of playing time here for Palace to get the job finished. West Ham have got to take a gamble now. Ryan Oyabade has led the team well. The captain. Looks like a narrow defeat unless there's something special at the end of this contest. Balogun. Judd goes over. White's there as well. White with a challenge. Excellent tackle from him. And now it's Brownlee spraying the pass. First time from Benamar. Dante Martin into stoppage time at the end of the game. Remember, the moment's the matter. The tail of the tape will I think Dante Martin might have been booked there for kicking the ball away after the offside was given. He was the player given the yellow. But starters and subs have all contributed. It's been a really good squad effort, this, against a decent West Ham side. And it's those 2 cool finishes from Benji Casey that look like getting another 3 points and keeping Palace at the top of the table. With 4 games to go, of course, some teams have got 4 or 5 games in hand on them, so they'll still be observing the other outcomes. All they can do is prepare well, get their own results, and that's what they're getting at the moment. Really good stuff. Of course, best of luck to the seniors as well later. Live audio commentary to come of Palace versus Ipswich in the Premier League. Just a couple of minutes of stoppage time to see out. You feel like West Ham's race might be run. They've given it absolutely everything, and they've contributed to what's been a really good advert for youth football. Both of these sets of young players flying the flags of their clubs proudly on a live broadcast, showcasing their talent worldwide on Palace TV. And they can be proud of their efforts. Being played in good spirits, and they'll be equally happy, if not more so, Palace, than with this 2-1 win, as they were winning 5-0 at West Ham earlier in the season. Here now is Brownlee, he's through, the substitute, the debutant to make the point save, good save, and it will be followed in! And there it is! The replacements working their magic. Dante Martin with the third goal that makes another 3-point save. They stay top of the table. Great to see Ryland Brownlee involved. He's done really well. Signed from Australia. He's been playing in the A-League at senior level. He's joined the club with a spring in his step. He forced the save from Finlay Hooper, and there was another substitute, Dante Martin, to pick up the loose ball. Casey with 2, Martin with the third, and Palace riding high at the summit in Under-18 Premier League South. They played some really good stuff. They've come up against a spirited, determined West Ham United side today, but they've got the job done. This is a very impressive victory. Starters and substitutes have all contributed, a collective display, and the cherry put on top of the icing, on top of the cake, from Dante Martin after Ryland Brownlee was played through the middle. Keeper made the save, but reacting to the loose ball was Martin. Palace 3, West Ham 1. Job done. Delight for Dante with the decisive touch. And Ryland Brownlee with a very promising start to his Palace career. From Brisbane Roar, and it's Palace who are going to roar to 3 more points. Perfect appetite whetter, trailer before the main feature of the first team later. We'll look to do something similar against Ipswich in the senior Premier League. The under-18s thriving just now. There's the final whistle. A third straight maximum. Palace on the charge as we enter the final furlong of the season. They've chalked up a very good win here. Benji Casey with a goal in the first half and one early in the second. And then in stoppage time, substitute Dante Martin after fellow replacement on his debut. Ryland Brownlee did well in the build-up, forcing the save. Martin applied the finish. West Ham's goal scorer was Josh Landers to make it 1-1 in the first half. They hit the bar as well, but Palace showed real quality here. They thoroughly deserve their win, and they are top of the table for a reason. They're playing some really good football, scoring goals freely, and they've won this game against West Ham by 3 goals to 1.